Let's just do
Dear
it
God.
because we're here now. We're here.
Let's do
We're
it.
live? All right. Greetings and
I like your
salutations, ladies and
Xbox shirt.
gentlemen.
I like your Xbox
Welcome.
shirt. Cult Classic Cage. It's really nice.
All right, Ham. All right.
I see
all
that.
right.
I see
Well,
that.
greetings
Oh,
and salutations, ladies and
no. Those two
gentlemen.
swords are making an X. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing.
Oh my god.
You guys
Well,
are
it is what it is. I mean, to be fair, at least I do have an Xbox shirt now because I've been meaning to get one since I do have like a few PlayStation shirts. I've been meaning to get an N64 shirt as well, but just haven't had the opportunity to yet. So, but at least I got my Xbox shirt now, so I can dig it, man. That's what's up.
All right, look. Hello.
Are you sure?
Moke has to collect himself.
I
Give him
think
some
Do you
time.
want to comment on my tie?
Yeah.
Loke, I
Yeah.
think you look like a
PlayStation time.
sharp, dashing young Texan. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
proud of you.
Where's your
You
hat?
look very good today. It's kind of surprising.
You look like a
though.
cowboy
Those
hat.
aren't the
look
cowboy
like-
colors. Those are more like Detroit Lions.
Yeah. You look like a fine American, Luke.
You
Very
do.
fine American.
You do. You look like you
All right.
walked right out of that. Right out the embassy.
Is he gonna lead
Looking
us in
good,
the
bud.
pledge?
I pledge
Yeah.
allegiance to
We
the
need
flag of the United States. Oh, God. You so mini. Welcome in.
The only
welcome
reason
in.
you know
$2
that is
super
because of
chat.
Eminem.
Yes. Yes. Literally. A $2
Oh
super
my
chat,
God.
Uso Vinny. Thank you.
Vin!
Welcome
Vinny,
in.
what's up?
Uso. He says PlayStation better lies of P. Spencer. Uso, you know that's a lie. You know that's a lie.
Oh my
Stop it.
God.
Stop it. You told two lies in the same sentence. That is impressive. All right, well done. Greetings and
In a very short
salutations, ladies and
sentence.
gentlemen. Welcome to yet another installment of Bullsitting on TSWS Gaming. This week, we have Xbox dominating another gaming week, even as Spider-Man 2 looms on the horizon. All hail the inevitable colossus that is Microsoft's Xbox. I'm your host, Loke7, and joining me today is a lovely Cozy Beluga, Mr. Behind Them Sticks, Ham Solo, the man that likes games more than anyone alive, Mr. Matt Likes Games, and our special guest, the internet's answer to who is the coolest horror-loving gamer in the world, called Classic
yeah.
Cage. Before we partake
it's
in this
awesome
week's
to hear.
session of digital savagery, tell me, Cozy, are you feeling rosy?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Please tell us why.
Oh, so I've been talking about how my bird's getting a little old and not molting, and then I just started noticing that she's getting her face colors in.
What's her face colors, please?
Yellow.
For the ignorant guys at the back.
It's like her feathers, she's like, was all gray, but now she's getting like yellow in the face.
There you go. TSWS educating you about birds. Good stuff. Good stuff. Cult Classic Cage, we will not be asking you the ceremonial questions like how do you fall in love with gaming, the best console, etc., because you are a repeat guest. I think you've been here. This is like what your fourth time on TSWS on
I
Bullsitting.
think so.
So
Yeah.
you're like
At
part of the
least.
furniture at this point. You're just a panel member now. I'm sorry.
Hell
You
yeah.
have been brought all the way down to just room temperature level. Alright?
Wow.
Uh,
He called you tepid.
No, I called her
Oh,
part of the
damn.
furniture. Cult Classic Cage, what
I
have
like
you
the
been playing
fitting.
this past week?
Man, I've been obsessively playing Starfield, and I'm obsessively playing it, but I've yet to even take it seriously. Like, I have not really touched the main story.
Yes.
I've just been going from planet
Yes.
to planet, killing all sorts of individuals, taking all their shit. I guess the biggest disappointment, though, is that when I do take their armor, like their space gear, they don't end up naked like in Oblivion. That's probably my biggest
true.
negative, but other than
Punch
that, it's been a fun time, and damn, it's been a long time coming, to be real with you. And I also been playing Party Animals because it is insane.
Ooh.
It's funny.
Is it fun? It looks
It's very
wonky.
fun, Luke.
It's fun. It's silly. It's cool to just run with the homies, and
Is
I
there
think it's worth giving it a shot.
cutscenes? Is there a story in
No.
this? Is there
No,
a
I mean
campaign?
you can make your typical Rocky story, I guess, where you're going at it in a ring and just throwing hands, and whoever comes out on top,
Wins.
hell yeah.
It's your own
Alright.
headcanon, Luke.
All right. It's to Cult Classic. To Cassie's point about Starfield, real quick before I get to everyone else.
Mhm.
I am doing the exact same thing as you, Cassie. I am just bumbling around, and I'm having the most fun I've ever had in games for a long, long time.
Hell
I
yeah.
know Ham's finished the campaign and he says it's amazing, and he's giving me a couple of things that I'm excited for to eventually get to it. But to me, I just enjoy being over encumbered, right? Taking those pills.
Literally.
I take the
You
pills
enjoy that.
and then I just freaking sprint for 5-6 minutes and I'm almost at my
Oh, yeah.
ship. And then I run out of stamina and then I don't have any more of those stamina pills. So what I have to do is like I run and then as soon as the red bar comes out, I have to stop and then go on Twitter or something for like 10 seconds.
Huh?
And then I'm back at it and I can see my
Why
ship.
don't you
It's
just
like,
start boost packing? I just boost pack.
Yeah, boost. You
Well,
got
When
Yeah.
boost
you're
pack,
encumbered,
It
it
takes the
you
stamina
lose
as
boost
well.
pack too.
but not so
It takes
much.
the stamina
Not
as
a
well.
lot. Not a lot.
Really?
Not a lot of it.
Oh.
It does take stamina, but not a lot.
Okay, I just
When you're
noticed that
in
it takes stamina, so it's like, okay, this doesn't change anything.
There
Whether
is
I'm boost
another
packing,
trick for
whether
your
I'm running.
stamina that you'll figure out later.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right.
So have you ever forgotten when you're over encumbered and like the difference in gravities in different places? I boosted up really high and the planet had light gravity, and then I just kind of ran out, and so I just let myself kind of gently drop, and then broke my leg.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's happened before. That's happened
Yeah,
I've
before.
died
is
on planets with low
unfortunate.
gravity doing that. Yeah.
But you know what I don't
Yeah.
understand, Ham? You wanna come a planet with low gravity, right? You're over encumbered. You jump, and then you boost pack, and you are really high. How does your stamina, right? You're in the sky. How does your stamina deplete? By just moving the directional button forward. Where's the logic there? What's going on?
You're using
I
your
mean,
body.
Why are you asking me? I ain't the dev.
You're using your
Oh, no.
body to move. You're still
You
using
don't
your
understand
body
how
to move.
science works here.
But you're not
Just run
running.
with it.
You're
You went
tired from
to-
all of that
It's still-
leaning. All of that
But you're-
lean.
Huh?
All right.
You
all
just
right,
got
you know what?
way too much lean.
Starfield.
You just
Really,
got Miles
that is it.
Bridges. You just got Miles
Sensibly,
Bridges.
that is
in
it.
the-
You're actually
in the
so because you don't
in
lose
space.
stamina. If you
Sorry,
lean,
Cozy.
you don't lose stamina, and that would make sense because if you're leaning, you're actually physically maneuvering your body as opposed to just
Yeah.
You know what?
having the boost pack boost you in there.
You got, Cozy's spitting facts. You got both cups on top of each
Mhm.
other. The ice mixed up. Jolly
Oh,
Ranchers
Lord.
thrown in.
Okay,
You know what I'm
Ham, I
saying?
know where you're
God.
going with this, but
We
stop
making
it.
that recipe
Stop.
right
Stop
now?
it. Just stop. Listen. Cassie,
He went to
just so
Neon
we're
and got
safe,
himself
right?
a few leans. I got you.
Cassie, from what you can see here, right? The safe
Yep.
word or the word that shall not be mentioned throughout the show is Starfield. Don't do it, because then we lose
Oh.
5 minutes of the show.
Uh,
All right? No more Starfield talk on here. Come on, let's focus, people.
Dang.
Cozy, what have you been playing this past week?
Wait a minute. How am I supposed
What?
to talk about what I've been playing under those parameters?
What? What have you been? Wait, what have you been playing this past week?
Go on ahead, Cozy.
good-
Break his
It's
heart.
a good question. It's a
Things
good
shall
question.
not
though.
be named. Clearly.
What? God damn it, Cozy! It's been 3 weeks now. You have to be playing something else. No.
There is like an infinite amount of content in Starfield. You
Talk
know
about
something?
Jewel.
I just realized that.
You think
you
that's
know,
a meme,
the-
right, Cozy? You're trying to make that a meme. Did you and
So
Ham
I
come up
bought-
with this joke? Go ahead, Cassie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I bought Starfield on Steam because I felt like
Yeah.
if I would enjoy it, I would be playing it for like years. But
Mhm.
I happened to notice, the big controversy is like a certain amount of people didn't even leave the first planet. I just realized like 2 days ago that achievement on my Steam account is bugged. So you could tell
Oh.
that I've clearly left a planet because like I've joined like the Free Star Rangers and you have to go to another planet to do that. but
Ooh, goody
like,
two shoes. Join the Rangers.
hell
Fuck
yeah.
out of here.
Oh shit!
But yeah, enter space for the first time. That achievement is just glitched on my Steam account.
Damn.
That sucks.
That's
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so can I skip everyone? Everyone's been playing Starfield, correct? Just say yes. Just say
Well,
yes so we
no,
can move on.
Yes.
no.
All right. What have
No.
you been playing, Matt?
Been playing Starfield, bud.
God damn
Been
it.
playing Starfield.
You know what? I walked into that one.
Jewel!
Whatever.
We can talk about Jewel.
Cozy, don't even start. Don't
Oh,
even
so now
start
let's
with
talk
Jewel.
about
You and
Starfield
Ham-
or Jewel.
You and Ham have just been talking about Jewel to chafe my tits. I'm not gonna let you guys do this. All right.
I didn't do it for that.
Let's move. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get to the news. Okay,
You
before we
wanted
get to the
answers,
actual
Luke.
TGS. All right, Matt. Before we get to TGS, the lowdown happened. Me and Ham spoke extensively about the leaks surrounding Xbox. Phil Spencer, the Brooklyn console, possibly acquiring Warner Brothers, Nintendo, etc. We'll start with Cozy Beluga. Cozy, what was your biggest takeaway from all those leaks that came out?
Nothing.
It can be one, it can be several.
Nothing. Really? If you've ever worked for any company, you see a lot of like emails floating around of stuff and ideas and things, and
Okay, that's fair.
that's just yeah. So it's not like, oh man, this just means much.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
I think we know that for a while Microsoft has obviously been looking to acquire studios. The fact that they had an enormous list doesn't at all surprise me because look what they've done the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Cassie, you also have the same reaction, which is nothing really.
Besides the general concept of, consolidation does, in other industries has proven to not really be a good thing. I mean, all these companies are doing it. So to single out Microsoft, it's just I'm not going to bother doing that. I mean, it's an issue that I think is widespread, but I don't think that Microsoft should be treated any differently from what, Embracer Group is doing, what PlayStation has also done. What are you going to do?
Embracer Group, side note, is actually suffering the ramifications of trying to do everything. And they're
Yep.
struggling now.
They're struggling. They're struggling.
They're trying to leave the party, essentially. Okay. So Cassie, Cozy, no big takeaways from the leaks. Matt, any
Yes.
big takeaways from the leaks?
I mean, for myself personally, controller looks cool. I don't care about a digital console. I've already got the Series X and the Series S. Trying to think, like, as far as the Nintendo stuff, like floating the idea of acquiring Nintendo. It's like I'm pretty sure we already knew about that. And I believe like the report was whenever it came up, whoever was in charge of Nintendo at the time like laughed them out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, we already knew about this stuff. It's not shocking. I don't think it would be good for them to acquire Nintendo, but it's not shocking that they floated the idea internally. It's really not that surprising. So as far as that stuff, like acquiring other big, like it doesn't surprise me really, especially internally. This stuff was never meant to be seen by anybody ever. So it's like, I can't really be shocked by it.
Okay. I was not expecting such a lukewarm reaction, from being like super honest. All right, so let's get into it. Honestly, I thought Matt would be throwing pom-poms. I thought Cult Classic Cage would be enraged because of the consolidation. And Cozy, I thought you'd be scared out of your mind because of the possibility of Xbox buying Nintendo, possibly buying Nintendo and taking
They're not
that
buying
identity
Nintendo.
away.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's
again,
happening.
I said possibly.
They're
Again, I
not
said
doing that.
possibly.
It's not possible. They're not doing it.
Yeah,
It's not
gonna
possible,
happen.
Matt.
Yes.
No,
that's
it's
what
not.
I'm
Here we
saying.
go.
I don't believe
Possible.
it's
Here we go. You
possible at
guys
all.
had to find. You guys had to continue the art. You should have just been quiet and let him just finish his statement because he is waiting to find something to catch you to argue
is.
about.
He is.
He's
Fine,
on
fishing.
edge.
fine.
This man is
Let's
fishing.
move on to the Tokyo Game Show. You, blessed people of God. Tokyo Game Show. Essentially, I'm just gonna mouth off the reveals, and then anyone wants to jump in, feel free. The first announcement was Forza, right? There was hands-on previews for the upcoming Forza game. Gave us a closer look at its gorgeous Japanese Hakone track with beautiful cherry blossom trees masking a tricky turnpike, and driving on that track was one of the cars available in the game, a 2020 Toyota GR Supra. Forza Motorsport to be released on Series X, blah, 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 blah. Who has any thoughts on the extended gameplay for Forza?
I
I
mean,
don't like racing sims.
Me
it's
neither.
gonna like my thoughts on it are gonna sound a lot like my thoughts on any other gameplay they show. It looks beautiful, and I'm excited to play it. That's about all I can say about it.
Okay.
I just want to play it at
Hard
this
days.
point.
Hard Days Mike coming in with the knowledge says just let Loke talk so we can move on to the next one. LOL.
Something interesting.
Y'all need to focus on what Mike's talking about. The next one at the Tokyo Game Show was Fallout 76 Atlantic City. So Fallout 76 art director Jonathan Rush made an appearance to introduce Atlantic City, a brand new location coming to the game December 5th. Is a quote. Since we announced Atlantic City at the Xbox Showcase last June, we've upped the ante with so much great content that we're splitting it into 2 releases. Said, right, okay, stop. Hold the phone. Did anyone know that Atlantic City was even a thing before the Tokyo Game Show? Was anyone here aware?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean,
Damn.
I live in the tri-state
I'm
area
out
my
of it.
entire life, so.
No, the Atlantic City in Fallout 76, not the real one.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, if you know
Okay.
Fallout people who are like super into
Mhm.
Fallout.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that Fallout 76 even still had live servers, so.
Thank you.
It's
Uh,
I mean, no, I think the thing is, so a lot of people have been like, why are they showing this? Why are they showing that? And it seems sort of silly because it's like a bunch of people in another part of the world complaining about what they're showing at that show. And I'm like, maybe they're just looking at the stats for the demographics that they attract and showing those things off.
Perhaps, yeah.
it's successful somewhere. It is definitely successful somewhere. It's getting some level of success. It's still alive. They're adding content to it, so
zero hype on TSWS for Fallout 76.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Okay.
Like, it's cool, but I'm not dying to.
You're
Look
correct.
says correct.
Starfield is out. Fallout 76 is old news. Don't care.
Yeah, that was yesterday, bud. We're done with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I enjoy it, but I don't like all kind of like MMO type games. I dip in and out, but because I have other things to play, and if I just sat around playing an MMO, I wouldn't ever play those other games.
I'll tell you right
Mm.
now, Loke, the shooting in Starfield is too good in comparison to Fallout 76. So with that being said, I'll probably never go back to 76, and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% fine with that. I don't want to buy any future content for it at all. I don't care if it's even given to me for free. It will just sit
Wow.
in the backlog, in the back of the backlog, and not go anywhere. It's going to be like one of them boxes that you're just going to be like, oh, I forgot I even had this. Yeah. That's Fallout 76 for me.
I have to say, the character
Tell us when
creator
you
in
really
Fallout
feel now.
76 was actually better than Starfield. That's the one thing I can give it. Because I tried to make my favorite actor in Starfield. Didn't come out so well. Whereas in, Fallout 76, he was looking nice. Let's just put it that way.
Hmm.
Looking
Interesting.
fresh.
Character creator. Okay. Matt? You
Yeah. On Fallout 76, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's cool. People who play it's cool. I don't care particularly, but somebody does.
Another live.
Hey, let me throw one more thing in there. If they made
Let's go.
a new version of something like that, like a Starfield MMO inspired by
please
76.
don't wish that.
No, I'm going there.
Let's
I'm going there. Fuck
go.
it.
Let's
No,
piss off
because
Cozy.
I would
Fuck it.
never play another game again. I don't think you understand.
You know what, Cozy, and that's fine. You don't play a lot of good games.
You know what? Shut up. You know
God
what?
damn.
so
That
I'm
is
just
hot,
saying,
man.
if they decided to make a Starfield like in a Fallout 76 way, but not have the first several years of what Fallout 76 went through, I'd be on, man, I would love to be running around in the mine with Matter, Loke, or Cult Class Cleach. Apparently not Cozy because she's too good for it. But
No,
I'd love to be
I'm
doing
saying I
that.
would never play
Maintain a
another
life.
game again. I'm saying
She's
Short
I
saying
would
life.
be
that would
so
be
obsessed
that would be the only thing she plays.
Oh,
Supposed to do
okay.
something
I
other than
completely read that
Starfield.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cozy. Well, in that case, I hope you wither away in that universe.
No.
Wither away.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel part of me feels like it's like probably something that they're on the is on their horizon.
Stop saying Horizon. I might fall asleep.
up.
Damn.
Don't you do that?
What? Stop saying
You need it.
Horizon.
She like does this thing where she like just taps me, and I don't like it.
Damn.
You didn't even need Mr. Joanna Dark there to say that. Jeez
Aw,
Louise,
she has a
that's-
little
that's
blush on
wild.
her face. She looks so cute.
Yeah.
So I asked Mr. Joanna Dark if he was playing Mortal Kombat on PlayStation, and he says, "No, sir. I only use the PS5 as my sleeping box when I load up Horizon Forbidden West." So,
Jesus.
Wow.
oh damn! And then he said, "I just lost a minute of my
Playroom.
life when they said Horizon." I think it's time for us to move to the next game that was announced at the Tokyo Game Show. Elder Scrolls Online for the 1 billionth time.
Yeah, I know.
ZeniMax Online Studios is excited to share that Elder Scrolls Online will launch in Japan on Xbox consoles. Are you telling me no one in Japan has played Elder Scrolls Online?
I'm
I
guessing
along
like
with
the
full
localization. Yeah.
along with
Because
full
isn't that what they
localization.
said? Isn't that what they
along with
said
full
in there?
localization. Along with full localization in Japanese on November 15, 2023. During the
Ah.
segment, ESO creative director Rich Lambert also highlighted the new content recently released in Necrom Chapter, which console players will be able to play locally this November. So there's another. How much content does Elder Scrolls have? Matt, you're the super Elder
lot.
Scrolls fan here.
A whole lot.
I
Please
don't
super
play Elder
fan.
Scrolls Online. I was excited for Elder Scrolls Online, and then the launch kind of messed it up for me. But if you keep up with any of it at all, which it's almost impossible to do, it's a dumb amount of content. It's a dumb amount of expansion packs for Elder.
And
for
that's
Elder Scrolls
why
Online.
I wouldn't want one for Starfield because Elder
Can you
Scrolls
imagine?
ESO is massive. ESO is a
Can
massive
you imagine
game.
all those
Mhm.
extensions? All those like DLCs for Starfield or Starfield level. Can you imagine?
And I would pay for them, and that's the problem.
I
Like
wouldn't have a problem with that.
essentially, TSWS would just become the Starfield podcast. That's what we would turn
Let's do
into. No.
It's a
Kind
good
of been
idea.
that for the last
It's
few
not
weeks. It feels like.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
It's like we kind of been that. All right. Hard Days Mike says ESO is cool, but I always go back to Skyrim. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
that's
good
kind of
on
how
you
I
guys.
feel. Skyrim or
Every time I've tried to go back to Skyrim, it feels too like stodgy and blocky. That's just me. I know it's ironic because I love Metal Gear Solid, but just bear with me.
I was about to say, but you already said it.
It's your favorite
Stop
movie.
it. Oh my god. You know what? It's fine. Moving on. So this is where like the actually new stuff was announced. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright trilogy. So the Ace Attorney series, one of the most beloved visual novel series of all time, and the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy is now coming to Game Pass and PC Game Pass on September 26th. And that's not all. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy. So there's 2 trilogies. Comprising 3 more games featuring a new protagonist will also arrive on Series X, Xbox One, and Windows PC in early 2024. Ace Attorney fans? Anyone?
Yeah. Ace Attorney is
Played a
fantastic.
couple games. No, it's a good series.
It's like I enjoy them. I think for me is like one of the things is I don't really double dip, especially on those kinds of games. They're kind of like you've played it.
Yeah, that's true.
So unless you're like, oh, I really love achievements, which I don't care about, you've pretty much already experienced what it has to offer.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
for anyone,
it's the pinnacle of visual novels.
yeah, but for anyone who loves visual novels, loves a really engaging puzzles and story, I highly recommend them. Just play them, and then you understand.
Ham, Matt, nothing.
Nope.
I got nothing.
Ham can't read, and Matt likes to lick
Nope.
games, so he probably can't read too.
Cozy doesn't even know where she is right now.
You're right. You're right. I don't know where I am.
Exactly.
She's
Exactly.
Look at her background.
Rachie says, I hope the 2 Ace Attorney trilogy games gets a total of 6,000 gamer scores. Rachie, would you actually take the time to get every achievement? It must be hell because
They're not
these
super
types of
long.
games-
They're not
Really?
long or particularly
but
hard.
don't you have to like replay them? No.
I don't know.
like-
I played.
No,
I
they're
played
not
them on
particularly
Switch,
long.
So.
And they're fun. They're actually really engaging. So it's not
what I
like a
do
game
notice
that
about the
feels
cover-
tedious.
What I do notice about the cover is the lady in black. She's blessed. That's what I will say.
Objective.
All right.
I know that I don't particularly. I'm not hyped for it, but I'll probably download it because that's just what I do when games hit Game Pass.
It feels like we're bullying Horizon at this point. Mr. Jonathan Dog says, imagine Horizon Forbidden West was a visual novel. My ass would pass
God.
out in seconds.
God, that'd be responsible for deaths, probably.
Honestly,
Oh my
I think the
God.
thing for me at least is a lot of games that I
Video
don't
game
particularly
induced
like. I
coma.
think I'd enjoy them more if they were visual novels. Like especially when I talk about unskippable cutscenes and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of things in games that I'm more tolerant of when you put it in visual novel form.
All right. Lukewarm reaction for Ace Attorney. All right. Next, we have Althea, the Wrath of a Fairy. This new action-adventure odyssey was created by 2 brothers and showed off never-before-seen gameplay. We got a good look at its characters, the warrior Lily and mysterious monk Sadie. Puzzles and combat all set within mysterious and dangerous ruined temples inspired by the work of Hayao Miyazaki and Mamoru Hosoda. Both combat and puzzle are created with 2 characters in mind, asking you to use both of their powers to protect Althea. Althea, the Wrath of a Fairy is coming soon for Xbox and Windows PC. Anyone interested in Althea, Wrath of a Fairy?
Nope.
Going 10 times.
You don't need to. You don't need to go. You don't need to go. Yeah.
God damn. Okay.
Are we
Okay.
only
Next.
going over the Xbox event, or are we actually talking about better, games that were shown off during
Yeah,
TGS?
look, what are we doing here? Are we going to talk
So
about
we're
every
doing the
single
whole
game?
event. Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God.
Xbox.
Doing the
We're
doing the
thorough.
whole
Yes,
event,
yes.
Ham.
Look, I'm
With
gonna be
Sarah.
completely honest with you guys. I waited
Wow.
till an hour, like the event was over, to skim through the Xbox event, and I'm grateful that I waited because I wasted so
What?
much less time than I would have actually sitting through it live.
So Loke is, but what Loke's gonna do now is make it last as long as the event did,
All right,
and
fine.
Golly,
we're gonna
Loke.
talk about
Fine.
every
Fine.
single one,
Fine.
and it's gonna
Do
be
you
painful.
uncultured swine? All right. Ayudin Chronicle 100 Heroes 1, 2, 3 nothing. Exo Primal. Capcom's Madcap Dinosaur Slaying online multiplayer gave us a taste of what's to come in season 2. Anyone interested? 1, 2, 3 sold.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Hotel.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
I am.
We have a
I
buyer.
like this way better. I like this way better.
Appreciate this. My brain took a second to catch up. Wait, are we auctioning? So if you see how much time I have in Exo Primal, if you see how much time I have in Exo Primal, I was basically playing it pretty obsessively until Starfield dropped.
okay.
I like it's like it doesn't have a lot of content, and I would have it never paid for it because it has very little content. But the gameplay loop itself is very fun. I would have paid for it, but nothing. It's like feels like $20 worth of stuff because it's like pretty much the same gameplay loop. But that gameplay loop is solid, although the current. So I'm curious to see more things that they do with it.
All right, someone likes Exo Primal. Next, we had Hotel Barcelona. 1, 2, 3 sold. I love what I saw from Hotel Barcelona. I can't wait to see more and play it eventually. It looks like my type of jam. Moving on. Infinity Strash Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. 1, 2, 3 sold.
Looks cool.
Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and Like a Dragon Ishin are going day 1 to Game Pass.
I swear,
1, 2, 3
Yes.
That's a dub.
Mineko's Night Market.
Hey, look, when
1,
somebody
2,
speaks.
3
Oh,
sold.
all right. So, are we not talking at all now?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Like when somebody speaks, I think we should stop. But Like a Dragon, I swear this game is slowly like reeling me in more and more and more because it's just like they keep dropping content and I just keep seeing content for whether you want to call it Yakuza or Like a Dragon, whatever. And it's just
I
like,
call it
man,
Yakuza.
what the hell am I missing? Why does this keep dropping? Like that's what that's how I feel. And I don't think of it in a negative light at all. I'm just like, man, I must be missing something. So like every time a new one or I hear something like coming out, Like a Dragon or Yakuza or whatever they want to call it now, I just get a little bit more FOMO that drives me even a little bit closer. I still need to beat 0. Like I'm way behind. Like I'm at the beginning still. But just to let you know, it's still downloaded on my Xbox. So it's still ready to go. And the more this stuff kind of comes out and looks good, the more I'm just like, man, I need to really give this thing a chance. I really do need to give it a chance. That's it.
I won't disagree with you, Ham. I won't disagree with you. You really need to give it a chance. I'm at Yakuza 5 right now, and I won't uninstall it until I finish it, and then I'm going to immediately go to Yakuza 6. Then I'm gonna do Like a Dragon, and then I'm gonna do these two eventually. But what I know is that these games, in my opinion, are timeless. Even if you start the series in 2026, still great value. Trust me. Next game is My Lovely Empress. 1, 2, 3 sold. I don't care about this game. Next, Octopath Traveler 2. Xbox Sarah Bond appeared on stage to introduce the upcoming Xbox release of Square Enix's Octopath Traveler 2. Sarah revealed that in the last 5 years, the Xbox has more than doubled the number of Japanese games released on our platforms and introduced a special message from Square Enix Vice President of Creative Business Unit, Yu Miyake. Miyake announced that its beautiful HD 2D RPG Octopath Traveler 2 will arrive on Xbox platforms early 2024. 1, 2, 3 sold.
I think that's
No one's
good.
interested.
No,
Next
no,
game,
no. Well,
Pal
I'm
World.
not interested in playing it exactly, but I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about that, and that's been like a huge issue because the first one was on Game Pass, and then it launched not on Xbox platforms at all. So they were thinking, Square Enix turns it back on Xbox once again, but here comes this new president or whatever for Square Enix, and I mean, this
looks
is a
very
little
friendly.
bit of it's a little bit of a shakeup, and not exactly what fanboys were excited to see. But I think this is only the beginning of what Square Enix is going to start providing for Xbox. This is just like kind of eye opening in a way, because it's like, oh man, Square is actually starting to fall back into the arms of Xbox compared to their obvious, like, not wanting to even look in their direction just last year.
Yeah, I think it's an equivalent exchange. Like Square has having difficulties, so they need to get their games on as many platforms as they possibly can, and Xbox needs to be a more worldly product. So including more
Can I
Japanese
say-
games on their box is always that's a positive for them.
Y'all know how I feel about Square.
Please remind us, Cozy, for anyone that hasn't been paying attention for the last 5 years. Go ahead.
Okay, they are your 17-year-old dog.
Damn.
You have a lot of fond memories of good times that you played with that dog, but it is a 17-year-old dog. It's got cataracts, really bad hip dysplasia, poor bladder control.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Damn.
Square Enix is Aaron Rodgers, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, look, as a Jets fan, that still fucking hurts, bro.
Man, 4 plays. Paid all that money for 4 plays.
But you know what? The sad thing is,
Yo,
I'm sad
Hard
to have
Knocks
to admit
every
that I called
day.
it. So I just
Did
know
you?
how. Yes, I'm as a long-suffering Jets fan. I know exactly how the Jets operate. I literally said in week 1, Aaron Rodgers would be out for the season, and here we are.
Damn. That's sad.
It's Jets' lack of luck, bad luck. That's how it is. I lived through the times of Chad Pennington getting his shoulder blown out, and then the backup quarterback, which was I forget his name. I think his name was Jay something. He was as good as the average starter. Gets his shoulder blown out the next play after that. I've lived through bad luck as a Jets fan. I understand it, and not at all surprising. That's why when it happened, I'm like, yep, knew it.
I can hear it in her voice that she is very
Pain.
displeased.
Pain. You know what?
Yes.
You know when they say pain, you know that meme of just pain.
They
That's
got
classic.
love, pain.
As a
Look,
Jets
you don't have to
Get
rub it in.
enough.
As a Jets fan,
Cozy.
it's chronic pain. It's
Cozy,
forever
I
ongoing.
love it. This is delicious. Every day I wake up, Cozy. Every day that I wake up, the first thing I think about is not my wife, it's not my kids, it's not
Tragic.
PlayStation.
Damn.
It's Aaron Rodgers
It's not PlayStation.
is out for the season. That's the first thing I think about when I wake up. I don't
That's
even
weird.
thank God I'm alive. I'm just like, I wake up, I'm like, hey, Aaron Rodgers is out.
And guess what?
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers is spending time in the same bed next to him.
God damn. Pretty much. Let's stop bashing him because the football gods might just heal him before the
The way you keep his peen in your
postseason.
mouth.
Oh,
He's pain.
Oh.
I keep Aaron Rodgers' pain in my mouth, like all
That's
the way
weird.
down.
What is
His
happening?
mouth.
Look,
You heard
look,
it.
what-
You
what
heard
did
it
you
from the
just say?
source. He keeps it in
I
his
said
mouth.
pain. I said
Uh-huh.
pain.
What are you talking about?
Anyways, let's get
This
back on
is sick.
topic. Yo, Danny says Texas fans got the Cowboys. Cowboys are fake. They're a mirage in the desert. Just watch. They beat useless New York teams. Just watch. Let's talk in like 5 weeks. Anyways, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic. This is not the lowdown. All right. Xbox Showcase. The game that I think Cozy is excited for, or should be excited for, if she's consistent. Pal World. This monster collecting RPG got a new gameplay trailer during the show, showing off new monsters, character customization, multiplayer based building, crafting, which includes fishing, weapons, faction leaders, and more in its gorgeous 3D world. Pal World will arrive for Xbox and Windows in 2024. Cozy, please tell me I'm correct in my guess.
Here's what's wrong with Pal World, though.
Looking forward to this.
Here's what's wrong with Pal World. Why isn't it out already? And why don't we have an actual specific release date instead of a release window?
I wish I could answer your question.
Exactly. Nah, I'm really looking forward to it.
There we go.
Fun.
So I still got it right. Matt, Ham, nothing, right? 1, 2, 3. So
nope,
next,
I'm down.
Nada, but
next, Party Animals, the game everyone
Doesn't
here was
matter what I
already
say,
raging about. Party Animals, the raucous co-op competitive brawler from Recreate Games, announced a partnership with the Ori series, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which will bring playable versions of both Ori and their adoptive mother Naru to the game. Anyone interested? 1, 2, 3, sold. Next, we had Persona 3 Reload ahead of its epic remakes release on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Windows PC with Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass on February 2nd, 2024. Producer Ryota Niitsuma introduced the game and revealed a brand new skill that is original to Persona 3 Reload. Thurgy is a flashy ultimate attack that Niitsuma calls a trump card for your battles. It's a trump card for my tongue. I can't say the word. Meaning there's plenty that's new and exciting for past players and newcomers alike. Anyone interested in Persona 3 Reload? 1, 2,
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good.
Okay.
You were trying to go past people saying yeah.
I swear.
He is.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm glad they actually decided to do a legitimate remake, because porting the PSP version of Persona 3 was an abomination choice. A lot of Persona fans were mad about that, deservingly so, because it is a lesser version of Persona. So seeing a full-on remake is cool. Hopefully, no censorship, and the fact that people get to play it day one on Game Pass is freaking awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm stoked to play it because I played P5, really enjoyed it. Put over 120 hours into that, and I started playing P3 Portable, and I was like, this is all right. This isn't as good as P5 at all. Like, at all. But this is all right. And then they announced, like, a few weeks later, while I was playing P3 Portable, that they were coming out with Reloaded, and I was like, deleted. Get it out of here. Get this thing out of here. Because I mean, because the thing that makes it, and Mr. Joanna Dark is right, because I looked into that. The PS2 version of P3 is better. It's crazy. But like in P3 Portable, a lot of pointing and clicking. I don't like that in games. I don't even deal with it on my Sega CD, which is hella old, and like kind of makes sense for that generation. But in 2023, I don't want to play a game from Game Pass point and click unless it's like a RTS, and I'm not even big into RTS games. The RTS games, it makes sense for point and click.
I didn't see us stopping for so long on Persona 3 Reload. I would have lost a lot of money if I was betting on it. Anyone else interested in Persona 3 Reload? No. Next, Persona 5 Tactica. 1, 2, 3, sold. Nobody cares. PUBG Battlegrounds. 1, 2, 3, sold. No one cares. Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Conqueror of Jiangdong. 1, 2, 3, sold. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that was the entire Xbox TGS that went on this past week.
Ooh.
What are your ratings for it? Let's go with Cult Classic Cage first. What did you rate the Tokyo Game Show?
I
Out of
rated
10, of course.
Wait, the entire Tokyo Game Show or Microsoft's Tokyo Game Show?
Microsoft's Tokyo Game Show.
It sucked, but it needed to happen. That's pretty much what it is. So.
What? Okay.
I mean,
Ray
everything that
G4
they
sliding
talked
through,
about,
welcome
we already
Sorry,
knew
go ahead,
about
go ahead,
it.
Cult
So.
Classic Cage.
No, I was saying, like, what they talked about, we pretty much already knew. I understand that, it's not for me, but, so I understand that. Hopefully, individuals in Japan got hyped for something, and that convinces them, hey, maybe, getting on Game Pass bandwagon's cool, but just objectively looking at it, nothing really particularly exciting because most of everything presented we already knew about or expansions, so it's whatever, man.
Rain G4 gives it a 10 out of 10. Wow. Okay.
I think he's
Cult Classic
trolling.
Cage, what was your rating? I need a number. Cult Classic Cage, I need a
I
number.
don't really do numbers.
Pretend you're IGN.
Me
Pretend
and
you're
math
IGN.
are not a
Rent
thing.
is due. Rent is due, Cult
Reject
Classic Cage.
Loke's numbering
This is role
system.
playing. This is role playing. Play the
Hey.
role. Out of 10, what is the Tokyo Game Show 2023 from Xbox? Go.
Null and void.
0 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
Ray G4
do it.
says Game Pass is for the players. Okay, sure. Matt, Tokyo Game Show score and thoughts of the whole event overall.
I'm gonna pull a GameSpot. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay,
And
thoughts
and
overall?
that's like I don't have any thoughts on this.
Alright.
It's not for me. It's really not for me. And I'm only giving it a 7
Okay.
out of 10 because it's in reference to GameSpot. Honestly,
Cozy
you know what?
Beluga,
10
what-
out of 10. 10 out of 10.
All right, just tell me when you're done, man. Just tell me when you're done.
10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10, Loke. I'm sorry.
I
go ahead.
swear, the man comes in, leaves, then he's back in, then he leaves, then he's back in. Jeez. All right, Lady
I
Fox
got, I
5
got
3 out
lots
of
of
10.
thoughts.
Clearly, bro. You good?
We'll see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Cozy Beluga, what's your score and what are your thoughts on the showcase as a whole?
0.
That's an honest score.
Why?
To be honest, so it's one of those things. It's not for me, and I'm okay with that. I mean, so there'll be some stuff I like, but generally speaking, I'm not really into a lot of like the bigger Japanese games.
You like the, what's it called? Something Factory. I'm forgetting the name.
Room Factory.
Rune Factory.
Yeah,
That's what you like.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like others. I like lots of them, but not usually most of the big ones.
All right. Rain G4 is messy. He says Sony has Game Pass without the P.
What?
Rain G4 he said Sony has Game Pass without the P. Sir X-Man, welcome in. He says, does Loki have a meeting with IGN today because he is in a hurry? Somebody explain. Sir X-Man, everyone on the panel is on a gaming podcast and they don't want to talk about games. That's what's happening. Anyway, welcome
No,
in.
we
Sir
want to talk
X-Man.
about games, not the
Appreciate
games
I
you want
love
us to
talking
talk
about games.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
just
what?
talking about a bunch.
Ham, what was your score
Yeah.
and why? So we can move on to what you all want to talk about: Activision Blizzard acquisition.
All right,
That's what you all
Come
really want to
on.
talk about.
I have 3 different scores, Lo. for
Shallow.
you.
All of you.
I got 3 different scores for you, Lo. I got the score for Xbox's showcase for Tokyo Game Show. I give it a 4, tied with PlayStation Showcase.
There you go.
And then, as for the whole Tokyo Game game show. Give it a 7, an honest 7, not whatever Matt was talking about. And then I got a score for the way you went through this
Oh, okay. Let's do
Tokyo
this.
Game Show. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
a fucking 0. That's a 0.
Oh
I mean, I think
yeah.
I think the whole
Who
panel
here
can
is
agree
shocked, Tam?
that you
Who
went
here is
through
shocked, Tam?
this part of the podcast like hot ass, like the flat side of a
Who here is
knife going
shocked?
through
Yo, we
ice
didn't
cold
talk
butter.
about where
I'm
wins
shocked.
meet. Like, come on, bro.
Who here is shocked, dude? I'm just
No.
saying. Who here is shocked?
I
mean,
I stand
next
with
time you're gonna
Hamothy.
say J-Dub giving a low rating for an Xbox exclusive is a shocking thing. Is like big news. This needs to be said. Come on, Ham. Come on.
I
Give
give
us
you a
content.
0.
Give us something fresh. Give me like a -5. Then you'll really get a reaction. Come on.
All right, Loke, you
You
got a
can do that.
-6. How about that?
There you go. That's
Even
better. Well
lower
done.
than
Yo,
what you were
Johnny
anticipating.
Kazada with a $5 super
I give you a
chat.
negative
Appreciate
0.
you. Appreciate you. Yodani Kazada says dodging foam stars, but just saying if I wanted to see a PlayStation exclusive where white slime comes out of every orifice, I can just hop in a pony Twitter space.
What?
Oh shit. That was messy. That was
Oh,
mad messy.
Ew.
Oh my
That was-
god.
That happened. That
Damn.
definitely something.
That was
I
a
mean,
nasty
how did
$5.
we talk about TGS and we haven't talked about Where Winds Meet, Dragon's Dogma 2? Like these
Where
are
Winds
like
Meet looks sick.
Yeah.
it
The
looks
games that matter.
amazing. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Like holy crap, we're skipping over like the meat.
The
You just
good
talked
stuff?
about the bread, the stale bread. Where's the meat?
I will
brought us a
not be
bunch of old
responding to
bread.
that question, like the way you ended it, right? that sounds like a setup. All right, that sounds like a setup.
The meat
I
is,
would not
the
be
meat
walking into
is
that.
and forever will be in Loke's mouth.
Oh my god.
Along-
What are we
along with
doing
Aaron
here?
Rodgers' Achilles tendon.
Man. This is diabolical.
Man. Yeah, this is wild. This is an episode right here. This is an episode.
Then they say men are toxic. Anyways, since you guys
Damn.
want to talk about the other games at the Tokyo Game Show, Cult Classic Cage, you go first. What
All right.
from what I mentioned and what I didn't mention, what was the biggest highlight from the Tokyo Game Show? Not the Xbox Tokyo Game Show, but the whole thing. Go ahead.
Well, the game that I'm the most convinced exists is Dragon's Dogma 2, obviously, and it looks absolutely sick. Like Dragon's Dogma, the original has great boss battles and stuff. It's its own thing, and to see a better looking version and a true role play experience it's pretty sick, man. I'm excited to see like what they do. I think that Dragon's Dogma is a very underrated franchise, so I hope that this actually sparks a grander love for role playing games like of that caliber with great combat, because I really do think that it should be talked about in some pretty high regards, especially from what I've seen. Where Winds Meet looks awesome. It is Ghost of Tsushima that is an actual RPG, so I could dig it, man. I'm gonna be pretending I'm Jubei from Ninja Scroll on that for sure. That's kind of just how once I
Hey,
see
Ninja
the
Scroll was
triangle
awesome.
hat, like it's like, okay, I'm Jubei, let's go. Like that looks absolutely sick. The combat looks really cool. It's exciting. There's a lot of dope RPG games that are coming out and that actually look genuinely fun. So that is, a big deal for me because I've been waiting for that game. I've seen that game like years ago, and I'm like, does this game even exist? Not to be disrespectful to China, but there's a lot of games made by Chinese developers that have been, in production, being developed for years, and it's like, damn, are these games ever going to come to fruition? So Where Winds Meet definitely looks super cool. And I saw the Sonic Superstars demo, them playing it over there. That looks really cute, fun. So I'm excited about that as well. And just Pal World. Yeah, that was pretty much the one game that you mentioned that I'm actually excited for. I'm wondering how many Pokemon knockoffs we're gonna be shooting in the face, so that's cool.
As long as they're cute.
And yes, let's shoot cute animals in the face. That's what I'm all about. And
What?
Final Fantasy VII looks absolutely sick, man. The open world looks really dope. The chocobos, I'm digging it, man. I like the first game, but this one actually looks better. So I'm excited for that. It's to me those are the biggest highlights.
All right. Cozy.
Stop!
What are the biggest highlights?
I don't. Stop! You.
Uh-oh.
You just keep
Talking to
walking
her
over here and
bird.
chewing things. No, because you
Your
keep
bird
walking
is-
over here and being like, "Let me grab some cables to chew." So
Dang. I think she's mad that you're gonna play Pal World.
it could be.
She's holding it against you.
I don't know. I too am excited for Dragon's Dogma 2. They also announced some new monsters. Well, not like new, but different monsters being added to Monster Hunter Rise. So I'm excited for that. Did you mention the Dragon Quest game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
with
the Legends.
You
of-
mentioned
the
that
Legend
for
of Die.
Xbox showcase. You just blazed
Okay,
through it
I
so
didn't-
fast you didn't notice.
Okay, I was like, I didn't remember hearing that, but yeah, that's another one that I'm excited for.
You can't sit there, tell me to shoot threes. When I shoot threes, you call me lazy
You
for
weren't
not going
shooting
in the post.
threes. You kept
You can't
missing,
do that.
and the rest
You
of us were
can't-
telling you you're missing, and you just kept shooting the ball.
You guys will not
That's
be
what was
gaslighting
happening.
me. At the beginning, at the very beginning, y'all were bitching about this is taking forever. Let's just get through this.
Got J.R.
I
Smith
helped
over here.
y'all. I gave you what you wanted, and you're still bitching.
Oh
Well,
my goodness.
You're wrong. It's okay.
Got Denver Nuggets, J.R. Smith. Just chucking shots. Just chucking them.
Dude, look at how your face is getting yellow.
My face can. You know what? Just finish, Cozy. Just freaking
Talking about
finish.
his
I
bird.
finished.
Talking about her bird.
All right then. All right, let's move the hell on. What's happening in the comment section? Remake stations having fun. Call of Duty on Game Pass. Foam Stars the next fortnight. Bungie helping Sony a lot.
Watch Foam Stars actually be good.
That's that.
Sir
Dude, that's
X-Men. With two memberships for 2 months. Thank you so much, Sir X-Man. Says, what is in Loke's cup today? Answer Pro. You know what? No guessing. No, it's water. Let's just believe that there's just water.
It's not water.
only water.
It's totally
It's funny.
water.
It's silly water. It's funny water.
Pony jizz juice.
It's
Oh my God.
Wow. Moving on. I'll say
Are
it
you
for you.
implying?
Lo.
Are you implying that Loke is drinking glue? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This has been crazy today.
Big old cup of Elmer's.
What the fuck, man? Damn.
Jeez.
This shit is something.
Ugh.
Don't listen to that, you guys. Just watch the Dragon's Dogma in the back.
Preferably.
yeah. Remake Station is like, what in the blue hell is this? Let's move on to the next topic. The UK set to clear Microsoft's deal to buy Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard. This is from The Guardian. Microsoft's $69 billion deal to buy Activision Blizzard, the maker of games including Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, looks set to be cleared after the UK competition regulator said a revised deal had addressed its concerns. The CMA moved to block the deal, the biggest tech deal in history, in April, citing concerns that Microsoft would dominate. While the move angered Microsoft, the company called it the darkest day In its four decades operating in the UK, a revised proposal was submitted that included selling cloud gaming rights outside Europe to the French rival Ubisoft. On Friday, the CMA said the sale of the rights substantially addresses previous concerns and opens the door to the deal being cleared. The watchdog added that it still had limited residual concerns that certain aspects of the sale of Activision cloud streaming rights could be circumvented, terminated, or not enforced. However, to address these concerns, Microsoft has said that the CMA can enforce the terms of sale of the rights, which the UK regulator has provisionally concluded will resolve its final concerns. And then after all this happened, Microsoft went to Twitter to officially announce that it's over. The war has been won. They have concluded the deal. And then Activision put out their announcement as well. Anything on social media or through their representatives in the media. Carl Classic Cage, what is your take on this specific subject?
I mean, in my mind, I was like, it's pretty much already over anyway. I'm just glad that at least hopefully this can now be finalized and we can just move forward. It's just honestly, this whole scenario has just made a big joke out of the big two, and and made a joke of this entire community when you really think about it. So I'm just glad that we can actually move on, and maybe some of us in the community, some of the individuals that obsessively post about this shit all day, every day, acting like they're professional lawyers with their professional lawyer tweeting and whatnot. Maybe they could start talking about games. I don't think that that's something that they're into, but you know, we can only hope, right? So.
Yep.
We can only hope.
So in the chat, Sir X-Man says Loki's drinking that African Drano. Yo Danny Kazada says, I have never seen an African branded Drano in Texas. Y'all need to make up your mind. Am I in Africa or am I in Texas?
You're in Wakanda, Texas.
Just, it's
The neighborhood you
Drano
live
with
in
an
is
accent.
Little Africa in Wakanda, Texas.
It's just Drano with an accent over the O or something.
Okay.
Sorry.
Matt, since you're so talkative, what's your take on the CMA initially approving this deal?
Finally, it's over. Hopefully, we can. I'm with Cult Classic Cage here. Finally, it's over. Hopefully, we can stop talking about it. I mean, they gave like a date, like it's expected to close by what, the 6th of October. Hopefully, that's true and it's over. We can move past this. Like it was fun when it first started. It was funny when it first started. I'll say that. But after almost 2 years of it, it's not so funny anymore. It's just I'm ready for it to be over, and we're almost there. We're almost there.
It's over.
I disagree, Matt. This is just the beginning.
Oh, let's go.
If the reaction on Twitter is anything to go by, this
the reaction
is
on
just
Twitter
the
is always
beginning.
bad.
As soon as this thing gets like rubber stamped, right? As soon as the next Activision game comes out and it's like day one Game Pass, a game that would never be day one Game Pass, like a Starfield level game, like freaking Call of Duty 2026. That's when it's gonna really ramp up. Because the same thing with Bethesda. People kind of got miffed when Bethesda got acquired, but when Starfield got announced, and then when Starfield got announced as an exclusive, like people just kept getting more and more pissed off. And then when it got announced, suddenly it's the most mid game to ever hit 10 million players in 2 weeks. It's the most horrible game, but no one can stop playing it. All right. Ham, thoughts on the CMA potentially maybe already approving the deal?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna go off subject real quick and just say this Dragon's Dogma, bruh.
Okay.
That ain't right. That ain't right. That shit looks too hot to handle. So I mean,
The first one was good.
Yeah.
It was
but
like
I'm
one of those
just
slept-on
saying, like,
games.
but hear me out. The last time that they showed Dragon's Dogma not that long ago at the PlayStation Showcase, it wasn't that. It wasn't that
Yeah, it's
9-minute
kinda-
gameplay trailer that they just showed. It wasn't that. The whatever they did at the PlayStation Showcase was not good enough. That right there that we all just watched and seen in silence in the background, bro. That game looks hot. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about, which was Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. It's about time that it's gonna be over. But is it gonna be over? You know what I'm saying? Is it? Because the last few times I thought it was gonna be over, it just wasn't over.
Bethesda's not
So
over.
I'm not, nope. I'm not gonna sit here and say "c'est la vie" or anything like that. I think until until it is literally like the document is, the ink is dry, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pretend it's not over and that I need to just ignore it still.
But Ham,
It's hard to ignore though, because it's all that we see. I tried to post something about it earlier and realized that it was not a good article after I already posted. And I was like, God damn it, it got me again. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done again. God damn it. So yeah, I just don't really care a whole lot about that right now. I'm very much more focused on what I'm actually playing, which has been Starfield. I'm excited for Cyberpunk. That just got an update that I still need to check out. And what's it called? And Forza's right around the corner. So that's what I'm focused on right now. We could talk about this again, in my opinion. Like, I'll have actual opinions on it. Like, if they say that October 6th it's supposed to be over, then that's when I'll come in and be like, yo, okay, now that it's actually over, I can say my opinions on it. But right now, I'm just like, I'm not, I don't want to smoke this hope that everybody else is smoking right now. I don't want to smoke it.
The comment section is going too hard. This is too much. John Wolf says Jim Ryan messed up Earth with all those fuel emissions flying around the world. Mike Johnson says it's not over until the fat lady sings. John Wolf says it's over, Mike. Rain G4 says the fat lady eating chicken wings. Then Mike Johnson says that lady is losing weight. I've never seen anyone lose weight eating chicken wings. But you know what? If it's Sony sponsored, anything is possible.
I tell you, the keto diet, you can do it. You can lose weight eating chicken.
What diet?
You go keto and you go intermittent fasting, and you do a little bit of calorie counting. It's possible. It's possible
to lose weight
eating wings, bruh.
Now you can't only eat chicken wings.
Keto is a great way to lose weight, but it doesn't teach people how to eat properly. So you just
no, it doesn't.
No.
No, it does not. It doesn't. Absolutely. It's a very bad. Why? It's very bad for that.
Why do I not know about keto?
Because you're in Texas.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're not doing keto.
You were born in ketosis. That's just a natural state.
Yeah.
Ketosis?
You think in Texas they eat for a diet and they pull out their pew-pews.
Yep. We got a bunch
Alright,
of garlic bread down there. You just tons of hamburger buns. It's
Excuse you, Matt, but it's Texas toast.
Oh, that's true. It is Texas toast. I do apologize, though. I do apologize.
all right. You know what? Are we good on the whole UK CMA situation?
I want to
I
hear
think
your
for
thoughts,
right,
Luke.
yeah. As a matter of fact,
I'm dying to hear your thoughts on this.
Matt,
you were
these are
doing
like
all
a
this
poll, man.
eye rubbing while I was talking. You look like you got maced. Like I want to hear what you had to say.
Hey, Rain G4. Fun fact: cheesecake is actually the only cake that I like. It's my favorite dessert, but it's the only
You're
cake that
missing
I will
out.
eat. Any other type of
What?
cake, I don't
You're
like cake.
defective.
Damn.
Sorry.
cool.
But
Any other
I mean,
cake?
it's at least a good
yeah.
choice, though.
Any other cake.
Damn.
I love
fun
Okay.
fact,
cheesecake.
I hate
Facts.
cheesecake.
That's the
Cheesecake's
only one that I
fine.
don't like.
Now you're crazy.
It always tastes.
Josie.
It tastes like cream
We knew
cheese
that.
to me. Like it just tastes like cream cheese.
Stop it, Ham. I'm not a bad person just because I only like cheesecake. Anyway, let's
You
move on
are.
to the next
You're a
topic.
bad person
That's
for
not.
other
No,
reasons,
that's
too.
not why. That's not why.
Because my thoughts on this whole thing it's just not. It's not going to be constructive. Let's move on to the next topic.
No, come
Oh
on,
my
come
God!
on.
What a
Come
way
on.
to run away! What a way!
Damn.
to
Right?
I'm
run
not running
away.
away.
No,
You know
you
what? Okay.
are.
What do you
Fine.
call leaving the conversation?
Fine. When I saw this, what I thought about, right? The first thing that came into my mind is like, wow, we have really gone full circle. The UK colonized most of the planet. Of course, they would be the one country to hold up a freaking international deal. Of course, that's what would happen. Moving on.
Never thought of it
Ubisoft
that way.
announces Tom Clancys The Division 3. You see, that was not constructive at all. At all.
That was.
Ubisoft.
It was interesting, though. It was a unique thought.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Ubisoft, as you know what? Let's move on. Ubisoft.
Let's do it.
You guys think I'm salty about consoles?
Ubisoft.
You guys think I'm salty about consoles? Okay, let's talk about some desserts. Rain G4 says pound cake is good. Remake Station, cream cheese and coffee. Dolomite pound cake will choke you to death.
Yo.
Okay.
Pound cake is delish.
Void lock. Clearly, I didn't run away. Delete this comment. All right. It's not too late, Void lock. It's not too late.
No,
You
it
can
is
still
too late.
save yourself from this embarrassment. Moving on.
What embarrassing.
Ubisoft announces Tom Clancys The Division 3. Ubisoft has confirmed Tom. This is from a dearly beloved IGN Africa. It's not IGN USA. It's IGN Africa. Ubisoft has confirmed Tom Clancys The Division 3 is now in development at Massive Entertainment. The Swedish studio currently working on Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is the original developer of Division 1 and 2. Ubisoft said Massive is currently building a team for the third game in the series. Star Wars creative director Julian Geraghty has become executive producer for the Division franchise, which has nearly 40 million players across all titles. Geraghty will now oversee all the Division games and products, including the Division 3. This is a quote from Geraghty. This announcement represents Ubisoft's dedication to the longevity of the brand. Okay. In his new role, Julian will drive the many interdependent production elements of the Division brand in a unified direction. This includes development, oversight, operations, and creative vision, together with the development teams around the world who are currently developing the mobile game Tom Clancys The Division Resurgence, Tom Clancys The Division Heartland, and Tom Clancys The Division 2. All right, who's psyched for the Division 3?
I mean, the game just started development, though, so it's like, oh my god, I'm so hyped for a game that'll maybe come out in like 5 years.
6, probably.
Yeah.
No, the Division was fun, and Division 2 was fun, but I think I'm so over Ubisoft at this point. It's sort of like, I guess that's a cool sounding game, but I don't necessarily see myself playing it.
As much as
Um,
I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't even care to play this game. I'll probably get it because I know people that will want to play it. That's all it is. It's like it's a mindless franchise that you just run through with friends, and it kind of makes it fun, and that's cool. But yeah, it's gonna be a long time before we even see it.
Yeah.
Remake Station asks Division 3, it's about time, what city? So let's go around the table. Ham, what city would you like to see the Division 3, and are you psyched for it?
Um, let's see. I think it'd be dope if they did Chicago.
Oof,
I'd
that's a
love
bit
to
on the
see.
nose, right?
I'd love to see
Kinda drag.
Chicago. So then they can bring back that like tower thing that they had because I really enjoyed that. I forgot what it was called. It's the thing that had all like the 100 floors or whatever. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Have any of you guys played that part in the game at all? Maybe. I think.
No.
But anyways, I like that idea too, John Wolf. You said Miami. Yo, I think
Rachie,
that'd be
what are
pretty
you
hot.
talking about? Okay.
And then I
Matt?
have a third place even that I think that would be dope as hell. Vegas.
Yes.
That's not bad. Good idea.
Yes.
I think
Tom
those are
Clancy's
actually great choices.
already had a, didn't
What?
they?
You okay, Cozy?
Oh,
I don't know what
goodness.
Cozy was trying to say.
Yeah. Remake
Rainbow
Station
Six
says I want a
Vegas.
Canadian city.
I
Yeah.
know it's been a while, but
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
That's
what
she was
I was
talking
trying
Rainbow
to
Six.
say.
Okay.
Sorry, I got
Gotcha.
distracted. But Rainbow Six Vegas.
I wouldn't want them to do Chi-Town because, like, most of the time in games when they do like Chicago, it just feels like a knockoff New York. If I'm completely honest.
That's
Uh,
fair. That's a really fair
yeah.
thing to bring up because it's like, oh
Yeah.
man, you kind of giving it a similar layout and you're not really giving it like a Chicago feel. You're giving it a Eastern vibe. And
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
think
of, yeah,
that
I feel that.
Vegas, you bring up a great option. Vegas, I think, is great. Even Miami, I think, is great. I was thinking maybe like something unique like Louisiana, New Orleans, something like
Yo,
that, because that would be genuinely
down
different
on the
from most games.
bayou.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Like,
yeah, I think
while
that'd be
those would be
unique.
cool, I don't know, it would have a completely different feel because New Orleans is very
Southern.
not
Motown?
very big.
Yeah, I think that if it depends, it's like maybe they can have like multiple areas. Louisiana, it's a new generation. Apparently, they're claiming they could do a lot of big things. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just that it's not
Oh
very
my
big
God.
and it's very outside of the city area. It gets pretty not city.
Mm.
Oh man. Remake Station says, what about Maputo? We can meet Loke as a faction boss. Alright. You know what? That's a pick. That's a pick I can get behind. Ubisoft,
Pittsburgh.
there you go. Let's move on. Sorry. Real quick on this one, I want to talk about my experience with Division 2. I bought the Ultimate Edition. I was psyched to play with my brothers. We tried it several times. It was very boring. It was very uninteresting, and we quickly jumped off of it. So
Yeah.
naturally, I will be buying Division 3 day one. So
That makes
can't
sense.
wait. I can't wait to buy the Ultimate Edition, install like 200 gigs on my hard drive, play it for about an hour, uninstall, then go back to playing Starfield. I cannot wait for that to happen.
Maybe
in
Elder Scrolls
2028.
6. Maybe Elder Scrolls 6 at that point.
Oh, okay. Let's move on. Mortal Kombat 1's Ed Boon promises to address widely panned Nintendo Switch version. So the Nintendo Switch version Again, this is from IGN Africa. The Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1 is currently the butt of many internet jokes. Not the good butt, the bad butt. For its
Crusty butt.
eye-popping visuals. Now its chief developer has vowed to improve the quality of the problem is not the game. Okay, let me finish the article. In an interview with BBC Newsbeat, NetherRealm's Ed Boon said the Nintendo Switch version will absolutely be getting an update. And a number of the concerns of the issues that had come up will absolutely be addressed, he said. It would have been ideal for us to have released the version that we absolutely wanted, but anything that we're finding a problem with is on our list and is going to be fixed. Cozy Beluga, our resident Nintendo queen, please tell us how this is going to magically work.
Honestly, did they not do a thorough test of the game before they released it?
I asked that with just about every release nowadays.
Facts.
Like some games I understand. Some games I understand they'll have like, oh, it's buggy on like on certain PC configurations because there are a bajillion of them. But with the Switch, it's sort of like, did they not check to make sure they could?
They just didn't even turn it on.
They
just sent it out the door. Just take this shit.
Forgot it existed.
Really, like, this is good enough.
They'll buy it, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might buy it if you made it like. I mean, and I honestly think people who play on Switch, they'd be okay. The graphical downgrade is like not that big a deal. It's a Switch, but it's like when the game can't perform. Because if I buy a game on the Switch, I don't expect it to look stellar compared to the other versions. But when the game just can't perform, like minimum, like who was like, yeah, this is great, this is fine.
Mortal Vaseline combat. Okay. Ham, what are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat? Do you think this is actually going? Is there a way to rescue this without attacking the console?
No.
That's it. That's all.
No.
Straight to the point. I love it. Matt.
Yep.
Is Ed Boon selling us NFTs?
Is he selling us? I don't know.
Questions.
Is he? I didn't hear NFTs.
I mean, they have the same value. It's worth nothing. But what are your thoughts on Ed Boon's promises?
I think it's cool that he promises that. We'll see whenever it happens. I don't know what to say because you look at the Switch port of that game. I'm not even really into Mortal Kombat, but you look at the Switch port of that game, and it's just like it's fucked. It's not good. It's nothing good is happening on the Switch with that game. So hopefully they do fix it.
I don't know what people expected. I don't know what game that works. I honestly don't know what anybody expected. And sure, I mean, yeah, the whole part on it working properly, sure. But as for like what I see a lot of people mostly making fun of isn't that, oh man, why is this character walking that direction? This character walking this direction. Most people are taking pictures and talking about the graphics of the game and stuff like that I see. That's like a big piece of what people are making fun of. And to me, I'm just like, okay, what did you expect? Seriously, like, I mean, it's the equivalent of having like a 1080 graphics card and having, Starfield, and you're trying to run it at fucking 1440 or like 4K or something. Like, it's not gonna look good. It's probably not even gonna run properly. This game is also, and the thing that gets me pissy about this whole situation is that they're trying to sell it for the same price as the other premium consoles. That's what pisses me off about this whole thing. I'm just like, I knew what to expect. I was expecting a lower quality version of the game compared to what you would get on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. I'm expecting that fully and completely. But then when you say, hey, can you please pay the same amount while knowing you're getting worse performance? Like, you're spitting in my face. Like, I mean, that's what you're saying. You're spitting in my face and then asking, how am I doing? Not very fucking good.
What?
Not good.
It's rain. Don't worry.
Like I could get. I didn't like the price hike for Tears of the Kingdom. I was just like, like this is the Switch. It should be $60 in my opinion. $70. Like, I took the L right there and went on ahead and purchased it for the wife because that's like one of her favorite games, and she beat the previous version, not Tears of the Kingdom, but goddamn, Breath of the Wild. Thank you. She beat Breath of the Wild, so I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Let me get you this game. I could let that slide. I could let that $10 slide. Right, that's fine. But cool. This right here, this isn't your game. This is a third-party game. Y'all didn't build this. Y'all didn't put the blood, sweat, tears, and love into this. While you think it's okay to sell all these other games, Bayonetta, all this other shit for like 60 bones, right? But this game needs to be 70. This needs to follow the footsteps of Tears of the Kingdom, because I tell you what, it's not even close.
No, it's not.
It's not even close. And like I said, most of us Switch owners understand. We understand this fully, that my Switch is not stronger than a PS5, a PS4, Xbox One, or a Series S or X. We all know this. So don't dog walk us when we walk into Walmart, GameStop, or any of these other places trying to buy a copy of that version on the Switch. We know what we're getting, and what you're doing is absolutely bullshit. Zelda, I get it. Loved IP. Everybody loves that. Everybody falls in love for that for Nintendo. And it's the same thing for like a Mario or something like that. We get that because we know that's your DNA. This is not your DNA. This is fucked. That's what it is.
When I look at the Switch, when I look at the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1, like, everyone's laughing at it, everyone's making a big joke of it. I grew up playing Mortal Kombat, and how you guys laugh at that Switch version is how I feel about Mortal Kombat in modern day. To me, I think that is an accurate depiction of Mortal Kombat in 2023. I know that's a very unpopular opinion because Mortal Kombat has been casualized to the extreme degree, but I don't have a problem with it because that's how I see Mortal Kombat nowadays as a long-time fan. Unfortunately, the franchise peaked at 9, so.
I mean, you're not gonna be in bad company with me, because I have always said that Mortal Kombat got by mostly because it was edgy and fun to play.
Which is the whole point. Fun to play. No?
There's a reason, and that's why I say there's a reason it never had a big comp scene.
Yes. Because technically it is quite limited, in my opinion. I like fighters, but Mortal Kombat,
it's never been the most technical. The flash and pizzazz was like what got it over was always the fatalities and the blood. So.
Okay, so Mortal Kombat is going to look amazing in a couple of months, according to the biggest capper of all the cappers this month, Ed Boon. I mean, this guy is capping so hard. He makes Phil Spencer looks like the biggest truth teller when he was out here talking about, oh, we're not sure what we're going to do with Elder Scrolls 6. All right? Fuck out of here, Ed Boon. Next, Forza Motorsport is now available for preload with a huge file size. We're 2 weeks away. Sir X-Man, this one's for you, bruv. We are 2 weeks away from Forza Motorsport, and preloading began earlier this week for most versions. Fair warning, you'll want to make some room on your PC or Xbox, as Turn 10 Studios' next entry in the racing series has quite a hefty file size. We're talking about 100, I'll say this again, 133 gigabytes. Carl Classic Cage, is this too much? Do you not care? Are you okay with it? Go ahead.
I can't say that I necessarily care, but when I look at the game and, you know, the high resolution textures and stuff, I can at least understand why. So it is what it is on that front. My 2 terabyte SSD on my PC is, you know, one of those things where it's like, damn, I don't think I bought enough, which is crazy to think, right? You think you'd be good on 2 terabytes. This generation is really putting people's memory space there. If it be a hard drive or SSD, is putting it to the test. So it is what it is, man. You better get your memory cards for your Xbox. That's where it's going, man.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Oshin says something curious here. It's a callback to the previous topic. He says they give you the fatalities in the menus. What? That's crazy. Lady Foxfire says I already installed it on PC days ago. Okay. Cozy Beluga.
Yes.
Motorsport file size. How are you feeling about that? Are you even excited for the game?
I don't
Go.
care. I don't
Yeah.
care. It's not my type of
Okay.
game. I'm not gonna touch it. Forza Horizon exists, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. Mr. John Wolf out here just showing off at this point. I won't even be reading that comment. That is offensive, dude. That is offensive. Matt likes games. Thoughts on the file size for Motorsport and your general excitement level for it?
I'm not surprised about the file size, and I'm pretty excited for the game. It'll be like the first Motorsport that I'm hyped to play at launch, so I'm excited.
Which one is the last one that you played?
I played Motorsport 7, but I didn't play it until like years after launch. But this will be the first one I'm playing at launch. Like, I'm excited to play it at launch. And it's the first sim racer I'm excited to play at launch since like GT4, maybe. So it's been a while.
Okay. Hamothy, thoughts? Go ahead.
Forza Horizon says hello.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you trying to say with that?
You're talking about file size.
Yeah, look at your Forza
Oh,
Horizon 5
okay,
file size.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
that's
that game
pretty
is like
cool.
134 gigs.
Yeah, it's
Or
huge.
something around that area.
Yeah.
So like
139.
oh, there you go. I was close.
Yeah.
5 off.
Yeah.
Very close.
So how much did we say this is?
I got 5 off it.
133.
Oh, so just a little bit less than Horizon. Okay. And I 100% agree with what Cassie said. All the textures and stuff like that for the game. All the different tracks that they got for the game. You know, all the new improvements. They said that this is now like a car PG kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when I think of an RPG game, even though they call this one a car PG, which is pretty slick of a name, but when I think of RPG, I just think this is going to be a big fucking game, probably. Cyberpunk isn't small. You know what else? What's not an RPG? That's huge.
What?
Jedi Survivor. What the fuck happened?
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah,
What
that
is
game.
my vision in that
That game's
Why
a
is that game
mess,
so
dude.
goddamn big?
just what is it? 30
It's
hours
like
at most.
Yeah, I think that thing is bigger than Starfield. I'm pretty sure that game is
It
bigger than
is.
Starfield.
Starfield's
on, what's the file?
140. No, I think it's smaller than that, but it is.
I'm gonna see the file size. I'm gonna check for myself. Starfield
Man,
on
it
my
is-
well, that's my Series X. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Jedi Survivor is a bigger game there.
Yeah. Rain G4 says these consoles should come with at least 2 terabytes. Yeah. It's getting out of control.
Well, that's why
for me
Loke is
personally-
really interested in the Brooklyn.
I'm gonna lock that pre-order in. Aren't you?
Lock it in, bro.
Brooklyn,
don't-
going
stand
back
up.
on topic. Going back on topic. I am really looking forward to Motorsport. I'm a big Motorsport fan. Personally, I prefer Motorsport over Horizon. So definitely, I will be pre-ordering the early access thing, whatever. The same thing with Cyberpunk and whatever. So really looking forward to this. I don't care about the file size. In fact, the file size kind of gets me excited because I'm thinking about all the extra stuff they're going to put in, not just the aesthetics of the cars, but the mechanics of how the career is going to work. So yeah, I'm very pumped for Motorsport. Mr. Johnny Dark says, "Look, just get a really good PC." You know what? My PC is fine. I recently found out it plays Cyberpunk just fine. So
Does it?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Cyberpunk's actually optimized at this time really well.
Yeah,
on
now. Now.
Yeah, I
Nowadays
had
it
to
is.
slow down. I had to slow down and say that again, like say it a little slow. But at this time, it's
Today.
extremely optimized on
Mhm.
PC. I mean,
Even the
I'm not
update is
surprised Loke
optimized.
is saying. I'm not surprised what Loke is saying because you, Matt, was like, "Yo, this runs really well on my Steam Deck." So,
Yeah,
for Loke's computer
which
to
is
be able
nuts.
to run it is not surprising.
Yeah. Mr. John Duck said, I think Gears 5 was like 180 gigs with the ultra textures. We don't talk about Gears of War 5 or 4
great game.
on TSWS. We don't
4 was
do
pretty,
that.
yeah, but 5 was great.
So
Loved it.
we're good on Forza Motorsport. Let's move on. Lastly, we're going to speak about one of the contenders for Game of the Generation, whether that's for positive or negative. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty got a review from IGN. And essentially at the bottom, at the score, and I want to discuss this. If you guys don't engage, it's fine, but I want to discuss this. They gave
I
it
want
a
to
9.
hear you discuss it.
They gave the DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 a 9 out of 10, saying Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty completes an immense turnaround for CD Projekt Red's future RPG, kickstarted with the anime spin-off Cyberpunk Edge Runners and its latest 2.0 update. 9 out of 10 for Matt Kim. Cult Classic Cage, if you had to revise the score for Cyberpunk based off of what it is right now, what would you give it?
So I haven't, I'm actually planning to run through the game. Actually gonna live stream it tonight on Kick. And I bought the game at launch.
Plug. What time?
It's
Name of the
it's gonna be
channel.
a little
Come
bit
on.
after 7 on Kick, Cult Classic Cage. If you're into Kick, great alternative to Twitch. I definitely love the platform. But you have to understand, I bought the collector's edition of Cyberpunk in hopes that I was gonna get an awesome game that had, more than just very vague RPG elements to it. And I dropped the game because I got tired of booting it and having to redo all my settings. It would be like the HDR stuff, all that. I'm sorry, that game was just an absolute abomination, and it's been years now, and apparently the game is amazing now, supposedly. And before the 2.0 update, it seems the game was fixed by then, but the 2.0 update kind of changed up a lot of core features to the game, which makes me excited to give it a try now. as the intended version of the game. So what I'm hearing great things. I even heard great things prior to this, so that's, nice to see. So I mean, I don't really give a score to things, but it's good to see that they are seeking redemption. It seems like this expansion is really good. They got some decent, interesting things going there. If I like the base game, I will definitely buy the expansion. But they have to allot me that time to go through the game first because of how they chose to release the game to begin with. So I think it's great to see them try and even though they messed up and they need to own that, and I think that they're doing their best to make it as right as they possibly can, given the situation that they put themselves in. So it's cool to see that it seems to be a really great expansion.
All right. Cozy Beluga, thoughts on Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty getting a high score, and what's your general feeling about the game as a whole?
That's
have played it, right?
that's good. That's good for the game. I've not played it, so I don't really have a general feeling about the game as a whole.
But you have no interest in playing it.
No.
What? I don't.
What?
Okay.
I don't think that's surprising for Cozy. I don't think that's very
Okay.
surprising.
How are we this long into doing this show and Loke is like blown away still to this day?
I'm-
Can't believe Cozy doesn't want
Cyberpunk.
to play Cyberpunk.
It's Cyberpunk. I mean, it's Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It is. You're correct. That's the game.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm
Ham?
waiting for a Ghost in the Shell game in modern day. That's what I'm waiting
Ooh.
on. Cyberpunk
Hey,
is
that'd be
really
fun.
cool, but I love Ghost in the Shell. Would love to see a
Yes.
modern day game from.
But they would never let her be like naked, right? Like
That's
that
what
would
mods
be
are for.
misogynistic. That would be
There you go.
misogynistic. I'm just
That's a good
saying.
point.
Ham Solo, thoughts on Cyberpunk 9 out of 10?
That sounds dope. I like how much like care that CD Projekt Red gave this game after being literally thrown out like a bullet train. Like
Yeah.
it's surprising, like it reminds me of that part in the movie, like in like I think it was Rocky 4, where he's just like, don't get up. I mean, he's like,
Yeah.
and he ended up dying. like that's what it reminded me of, except he didn't die. He like right at 9, it was like the most epic The Rock kick out of the pin of all time, because along came Edge Runners.
Oh
And
yeah.
that took Cyberpunk to a whole new level. It was like they came out after Edge Runners hit as if the fight just begun, and they just took a sensu bean. I don't know what the fuck happened. But they woke up and started beating the brakes off of Twitch viewerships and all these other, like it was just breaking records. It was insane. You would have thought the game just came out the way it was, the way it was being talked about and moved around.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with a lot of people that are saying, man, this game should have been delayed a couple more years for this.
Or it should have just been exclusive to current gen, not on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4.
I actually agree with that even more. Because you would have dodged a ton of this publicity if you would have just did that. If you would have just swallowed the bullet and said, you know what, I apologize. We thought we were going to be able to ship this game in last generation, but it is just busted. It ain't working. I think a lot of people would have they would have been still pissed. The streets would have been mad as hell anyways, right? There ain't no way to mitigate the streets when you're saying, it ain't coming the way you wanted it. There's no way to mitigate it. It's already a trash fire to a lot of people, right? So you might as well do as much saving face as you can and just not release it over there. Because look what happened. Because a lot of people can argue, they're trying to get as much sales as possible everywhere. Well, what happened to Cyberpunk once it launched in that state? It got taken off the PlayStation Store. The prices of it went hella down. It reminded me of Destiny 2. The prices dropped. I was just like, whoa. So I think the community just deserved, and in all honesty, I blame it not on the devs, but on the people out there needing that money right now and saying ship. Hit that ship button, ship that shit. Ship it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with a lot of these games. Really, we were just talking about Mortal Kombat. Ship. Cozy's like, who played this? Who played this before they sent it? So it's just like
And then
that's just today's age. But I gotta admire the way that CD Projekt Red took it on the chin and just kept pushing until people seen what they were talking about the game. Hopefully, I know we just got done ripping on Ed Boon and all that shit or whatever, but I think if anybody in third party games could do something like that, I feel like Ed Boon would be a good guy to rely on and something like that. As Mr. Joanna Dark said earlier, though, in the chat, don't expect better graphics, though. Just expect this. Just expect a smoother experience, and I think that will happen with Ed Boon in Mortal Kombat. I just don't know who to yell at more about the $70 price tag. I don't know. I'm still not happy.
No one is shitting on the frame rate of the Switch, bro. Nobody's worried about performance. They're just doing like side-by-side comparison of more graphics.
That's why I said that earlier. I said most people are looking at the wrong thing and saying that this is bad. That what they're posting is to be expected, and they're silly. The real broken part is the actual gameplay. People
that's what I was saying
getting
too,
fatalities with their head, and I seen one where a dude, I think it was Kung Lao or something like that, did like a fatality where it cut dude's head off, and it was looking like he was holding dude's head, but it was really his own hair that he was holding. Liu Kang's head was just somewhere else. Kung Lao was now bald. And blood was leaking from his left nipple when he is holding the head.
This is intense.
His blood was leaking from his left nipple while his head was being held in the right hand. I was like, what is happening here?
Why the left nipple
Mortal
specifically?
Kombat in 2023.
I'm just saying that shit was something.
Ham's speaking facts when it comes to Cyberpunk. They would have gotten heat if they would have dropped, the last gen version, and people would have been bitching about it. But once the game would have came out, people would have they would have understood. Oh, I get it now. I understand why, and that's why, man. Just do the right thing is what you need to do from the beginning, because you could do all this nonsense, but guess what? You're gonna eat it, the cost in the end. That's just what it is. People are gonna figure it out sooner or later. So stop bullshitting people, man.
And the fact that it came out of the blocks. Oh, go ahead, Cozy.
I was gonna say I have an unpopular Cyberpunk opinion. Based on watching people play it during launch, it was not great. But the big issue was people were playing on base PlayStations, and Xbox is, and they, you know,
Yeah.
it should have just not been there for them.
I was on
but
the One X.
that was like
I
the
was
bigger
on the One
issue.
X. I was on the One X, supposedly the most powerful console on the planet at the time, and it was dog shit.
I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying that a large amount of people were playing on those consoles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course,
And
because that's
that
where
made-
all the consoles were. I mean, the game came out like a month and a half after the launch of the PS5 and this Xbox Series
Yep.
consoles. So the whole world, 99.9% of the world was playing on
0.999.
yeah,
Yes.
0.99999 was
Nine.
playing on was playing on the series, or not the series, the one.
On the One X.
Most
or
of the
down?
people didn't have even a
X.
One X.
Base,
people
they
didn't have a
base
1X.
consoles.
They
Yep.
they had the One S or the regular one, and I believe a lot of people had
Like
the
the
One
fat
S because they
VCR.
went on sale pretty much as soon as they came out. They were like $250,
Mhm.
like right when they came out. So a lot of people were playing on that One S and that base Xbox that came with the Kinect and stuff like that, and then also the PS4. You got to assume a ton of people probably didn't have the Pro. A ton of people probably had just the base version of the PS4. So they're trying to
Yep.
run it on those, and it's so dog shit that PlayStation had to pull its card. That don't happen.
Yeah, ever.
They should have just made it, yeah.
Rare.
No,
They
but
let
then they would have
Life of
lost out a
Black
lot of
Panther
money.
Launch.
You
They
also
let
look
Life
at
of
the
Black
way
Panther launch.
Yeah,
That's how
you-
low the stances were. Go ahead, man.
you look at how they marketed it and everything. I mean, I had an Xbox One X, the Cyberpunk Xbox One X.
Trash.
Imagine playing Cyberpunk on the Cyberpunk Xbox One X.
Damn.
It's a bad time.
And
It's
runs
gonna be a
like
bad time.
crap.
And it's
Oh,
like
that's ironic.
if they would have came out after they released that console and said, "Sorry guys, we just can't put this on there."
Damn.
Dude, people would have been furious. People would have been furious. It would have been terrible.
I can only
Special edition
imagine having a
Starfield
console.
but it doesn't run Starfield. What?
Exactly. Exactly.
But you know what, guys? The reason why I think it would have been okay if they did it in the long run, the crap they took for those first 2 years, they will never be able to make that disappear.
Yeah.
The momentum they lost, because if they had come out and just been like, guys, tough tits, maybe you can even return the console if you want. If they had eaten that cost, right, but protected the brand that is Cyberpunk and the brand that is even CD Projekt Red, because remember when Cyberpunk came out, their stock value tanked. It was in the gutter
Yeah.
because of how bad the perception was of not just Cyberpunk but CD Projekt Red. If they had just given people their money back and been like, guys, this is coming only for the PS5 and the Series X, I think in the long run, the fact that the momentum would just be upward as soon as they released this game would have been talked about in the same way we talk about the all-time greats, like the greatest games of all time. Cyberpunk would have a chance to be in that group. But those first 2 years, the scummy behavior of the execs will forever cost them, in my opinion. No matter how good Cyberpunk 2077 gets, those first 2 years ruined it.
And man, like, you know how people say, "Oh man, after that stunt, they got a magnifying glass on them now."
Yeah.
I'm telling you, now they got like a NASA high-powered like telescope beaming on them at
Wait, from the gamers?
highest.
Are
What?
you talking about from gamers? Are you talking
Yes.
about from
From,
gamers?
From
yes, from
everybody.
gamers.
No,
From the, I mean,
I
really from everybody, right? Exactly. But
You're not
but
consistent
they
here.
are getting
No.
boomed in a 16, if there's even such thing, 16K resolution. They are being looked at hard.
Nope.
Mhm.
So like,
I
it's-
disagree,
so,
man.
so no, I'm telling you, bro, as soon as you just got done saying it, they'll never be able to wipe this away. So
Yes,
now
in fact.
on their future upcoming games, people are going to be looking at them and just, yo, this game better hit, or I'm saying, or it's going to be this or that to people. It's going to be like, oh, this is great, or another Cyberpunk. That's going to be the talk. It's going to be either great or another Cyberpunk.
I think
Look at games that
Go
are
ahead.
coming out right now. We had Starfield just launch. We had Jedi Survivor. Anything that people are seeing that are wrong with these games are saying this is another Cyberpunk.
Yep.
So just let that sink
Okay.
in while you think of another
They
CD
still
Projekt Red
selling.
game to come out. It's nerve-wracking for them,
selling,
I'm
though.
sure. Sure, they're still selling, but that's not my point.
Okay. Because my
Yeah,
point is that
prior-
Witcher 4 is gonna sell like a mother.
Yeah, it's gonna sell, but the thing is, like,
Day one.
amongst, yeah, for sure, and I'm gonna get it day one. But the thing is,
Alright.
I'm like amongst us, it's like, or not even just us, but like people and just gamers, where it's like they saw CD Projekt Red release Cyberpunk, and now they can't release Witcher 4 or whatever comes next, which we assume Witcher 4. They can't release that, and it's good. It can't be, oh, this is really good. It has to be amazing to get the taste out of Cyberpunk out of everyone's mouth. Like that's the kind of way people are probably going to look at that when Witcher comes around. Is it amazing enough for me to completely forget Cyberpunk launched the way it launched?
Well, I will say
Yeah.
this: there's people that are harping on it, and I talked about this in my live stream that because some people think that the DLC, the expansion, should be free, and it's like to make up for the original launch, and it's like, look, at this point, you had the opportunity to return the game, you chose not to if you didn't, and they went about fixing the game. They revamped the game. It is 2.0. Now there is a finished product.
One of
You
the best
accepted not
RPGs
returning
I've
the
ever
game.
played.
And then on top of it, it's like you have this expansion that has work put into it. People actually made this game. They put in this time, this effort. They hired actors to be in this thing. Like if it's a good piece of entertainment, it does deserve money. At some point, we as a community, we need to accept that it happened. Don't forget it, but we can't harp on it. We can't let it continue to be this this wound on us. Like I don't see the point in carrying that over. Now there is going to be skepticism from future projects, and that I believe is deserved, but we need to go about it in a way that makes
Move on.
sense. Like we do have to move on in a sense that we can't just harp on Cyberpunk launch forever. The natural skepticism is completely acceptable, but like literally going at future projects going forward and dragging the Cyberpunk release, it's like
no. Call Classic
it is-
Cage. No.
it's
No.
it's a little.
Let me tell you why. If we have to let go of the failures, then we have to let go of the successes. That's never going to happen. We will always drag out freaking BioWare. Oh, they did all these great things. The reason why people were hyped for Starfield is because we dragged all their past successes back into the light. A lot of people hadn't talked about Fallout 4. A lot of people hadn't talked about Skyrim in a while. Even though they have high player counts, people weren't harping about those games 2 or 3 years ago. All right? They weren't trending. As soon as Starfield gets announced, some people are talking about, we're not really sure. The first thing out of everyone's mouth, including mine, past performance informs future results. So if we can use past performance and it's fine, and we are happy to sit here and sing Kumbaya about all these great games that were made by developers that are now trying to sell us another game that they're about to release, then it should be okay for us to drag out the shit that developers
But
have done for the
I
games that
think
they're
that
about to sell.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
little bit. It's a bit of a nuanced conversation because, like, looking back at past, work to gauge perception, it like that's natural. Like that's natural, but like the thing is that that's acceptable. And it's like it's weird because, like I said, it's a nuanced conversation. It's hard to explain like how it's different. Like because like there's a difference between being skeptical on how their next project is going to be released, but it's another thing too to like have this festering wound on your body and being upset still about Cyberpunk and then putting that hatred on the next release. Like it's a bit of like there's a bit of malice with some people, like people that are going to shit on a future project just because of how Cyberpunk released. Like that's different from, oh well, I'm going to look at their previous games and give a general projection of what I kind of expect from their upcoming release. Am I explaining that better? Because I feel like there is a difference, and I don't know if I'm doing the best at explaining it. But we can't
Maybe I'm not getting it.
we can't fucking cry about like we can't shit on the next project from CD Projekt Red just because Cyberpunk came out bad. It came out bad. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can like drag that hatred you have for that release. And trust me, I have like I don't remember how much my collector's edition was, but I think out of most people, I probably have the most reason to be angry. That game was dog shit when it came out, and I paid the most for it out of a lot of other people. Like I bought the collector's edition. I have the right to be that extremely upset with how the game came out. But am I going to immediately say their next release is going to be shit? Am I going to drag the carcass of launch Cyberpunk with me and have that as I look at their future release? Like, I'm not saying that the next game is gonna be pristine. I'm skeptical. I'm gonna be like, I don't know, but I'm not gonna be malicious with hatred. Like that's how it is with people that hate on Microsoft all the time. Like there's a lot of malice there. It's not like it's not reasonable. It is malicious, hatred for Microsoft as a company. And it happens on the other side too. There's malicious hatred towards PlayStation from, the other side. I'm just saying, keep the malice out of it.
All right, that's an interesting angle. Blind Giant, welcome in. Mahalo, my brother. With a $5 super chat says,
hello, Blind.
On my lunch break, just wanted to stop by and show some love to my favorite podcast. Keep up the great work.
Hey.
Nice.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
There it is.
Does anyone want to weigh in on this little discussion we're having?
I actually liked what one of the people in the chat said. I think his name is Peter or something like that. I don't know.
Peter Maffei.
Yeah. Okay, Peter Maffei. He said, not shitting on a future project. Lost trust means I will wait for a fully patched game instead of buying into the hype, which is which is an honest kind of
reasonable
shitty thing
natural
that you have to deal with. But I mean, I see it. I see what you're saying, Loke. I feel like I agree with you and Cassie a little bit on this because that past perception really kind of weighs in on you, especially if you're not a huge fan of this. Like if you're a huge fan of CD Projekt Red, maybe you'll just kind of let it fly. But like if Cyberpunk is like maybe your 5th to 6th game that you're excited for a year of it launching or something like that, and then you get it, and then you're like, oh man, this came out horribly. When Cyberpunk 2 comes out, sure, you played it after it was all patched up and it was great, but I'm not going to pre-order it like I did last time because they were on some bullshit last time. You're not going to catch me slipping twice. I mean, what George Bush say? Fool me once, We're like, yeah.
Shame on
Cassie,
you.
I know you know that one, right?
Fool me twice, never gonna fool me again.
The fuck?
That's what George Bush said.
It was tragic. It was
Oh
not good.
God. Yeah, you know what? Tragic. Tragic is the word, Ham. Heartbreaking.
No doubt.
That's the word. Matt, you wanna weigh in here?
I mean, I kind of agree. I don't think it's healthy to have an obsession over, like in this case, how Cyberpunk launched years and years and years and years later. I don't think it's healthy. It's fine to be skeptical, but just
Facts.
you just gotta you gotta maintain some level of healthy attitude towards something like this. It's just games.
Mhm.
And you gotta remember that. You gotta remember that at the end of the day.
All right, Cozy Beluga.
I do agree. I think, but people, they put themselves in rage mode over this, and that's just how they operate. We know that people basically like being mad. It gives them more feels than anything else. So they're like, well, I hate this because of, and I get being skeptic of like, and I do agree with being skeptic once you've bought something,
Crude.
but it doesn't mean like, oh, you have to, yeah.
Okay. For me, right, the reason why I'm so like against your take, Cassie, is because every time a statement is made about something, I always try, especially if I agree with it, I always try to flip it on its head and see if I still agree with it, right?
Mhm.
And for me, I immediately go to, well, I drag around the carcass of Metal Gear Solid, and I will definitely make my decisions based off of my experience with Metal Gear Solid. So when Death Stranding comes out, I don't even know what it's about. We barely knew what the hell Death Stranding was about. We just saw those weird trailers. I just saw Kojima, and based off of past performance, I was like, day one, as soon as I can get this, I'm getting it. The Metal Gear Solid remasters are coming out, and it's exactly what I wanted. I was like, please do not Hollywood this crap. Do not bring it for modern audiences. Just remaster it, give me access to it, and leave it alone. And they did that. And based off of past performance, I'm like, day one, right? So if that's okay, why is it not okay? This is my logic here, trying to protect my objectivity. I'm like, if that's okay, why is it not okay for me to be like, yo, Cyberpunk was bad at launch. I will not. I'm dragging the carcass of this game, of this bad release, to 2030, to 2040 if necessary. And when they announce it, I'm going to sit back and be like, yo, I'm waiting. When this thing comes out, I'm going to wait another 6 months to see what's up. I don't hate it. Cyberpunk is one of my favorite RPGs that I've ever played in my life. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, let me just move on from the bad release, and when the next one gets announced, it's fine. Let's just go and jump in. I don't think that's hate.
But a lot of
think that's just
people
you learning.
But I mean, a lot of people excuse Fallout 76, and they're just like, well, we're gonna give Starfield to go. I guess everything is selective. 76 is a fucking abomination at launch.
It is
too.
It is, but I don't think it fits the equation, because we're talking about a company that has been known for making single player RPGs, suddenly getting out of their lane to do some weird stuff, and it didn't work out. Now they're saying we're going to make a game that is single player RPG.
I can make the same
just
argument
like all the
for
other
CD
ones that were
Projekt
great.
Red. CD Projekt Red, they did The Witcher, and The Witcher was prestigious. Then they tried to do something different with Cyberpunk, and that didn't work out so well. So, I mean,
which is
it's
why when The
situational.
Witcher comes out, when the next Witcher come, when they announce like the pre-orders for Witcher 4, I have no doubt that most people that liked Witcher 3, 2, and 1 will just jump in automatically. If I liked Witcher 3, I would also do the same thing. because they're going back to do what they usually do, and it's fine and whatever. But when they announce Cyberpunk 2078, me personally, I'm gonna be like, let's see. You guys can get all the pre-orders, do all the weird stuff. I'm just gonna sit back and be like, let's see. I want to see what IGN's going to say. I want to see what Ham Solo is going to say after he's thrown money at this thing. And then I will decide if I'm waiting for a sale, if I'm waiting for the 2-year patch. So X-Men says, I'm tired of buying a game and waiting 2 or 3 years for them to fix it. And they wonder why game sales are down when games release for the first time, because people are tired of broken games.
Fact. That's a cold, hard fact.
When I first spoke to Everborn Saga, and he talked about, the best time to acquire a game is 5 years later or 3 years later with the complete edition, I was like, this guy is on some stuff.
It's true.
But now a couple of years later, I'm sitting there.
That truth series is on that truth.
Man, I think Everborn was right. Everborn was onto something. Guys, we have reached the end of the show, but before we sign off, Count Classic Cage, we need you to pick someone in the chat to win the $10 voucher for whether it's a Nintendo, PlayStation, or Xbox. But if you're following the revenue graphs that people have been selling this week, it's either Nintendo, Xbox, and third place PlayStation.
Oh my God, here we go.
Count Classic Cage, you can pick anyone you want in the chat, but they have to have the TSWS membership logo right next to their name. Okay. Whoever you thought was the funniest, most entertaining, or whatever.
You guys are gonna make everyone else in chat hate me.
Yeah, that's the point. We're trying to make you lose followers, Cassie. That's what we're trying to do. Block her. If she doesn't pick you, block Cassie Cage. Go ahead, Cassie.
There you go. That sounds phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, this is not fair.
You just gotta pick
Mr.
your favorite.
Says, what about the Ouya?
Or your least favorite.
The Ouya, Jesus, that's a throwback if I ever heard one. I might have to give it to my boy John Wolf, man. You know, he's the one that was throwing shade at me in the chat, but
pretty much. He was coming for your neck, really.
Because of my hate of Mortal Kombat. But even so, I gotta grace the brother.
Man, you're right.
All right. John Wolf, you know what to do. Go to TSWS on Twitter. DM us. Oh God, Mr. Jonathan Dark says I'm blocking her already. There we go. John Wolf, make sure you go to TSWS on Twitter. DM us. Tell us what your platform is, what your region is, and we will get you your $10 voucher. Count Classic Cage, before we hop off, please plug your stuff. Where can people find you, etc., etc.? Go ahead.
Now, real quick, thank you guys for having me. It's always fun hanging with y'all, and love talking it up, all the debate, all the good discussion we have. If you want to find me, YouTube, Kick, Twitter, Cult Classic Cage, talk about gaming, love hanging with the homies, just trying to create good vibes in a sea of Twitter spaces and nonsense. So just having fun, being honest, giving our thoughts, and just having great conversation all around. So if that's what you're into, definitely check me out on all those platforms.
All right. Quick FYI, I absolutely adore having you on, and I cannot wait till you come back to on TSWS Gaming. Cozy Beluga, I will be plugging your stuff. You can find Cozy Beluga on Twitch. You can find her on Twitter at Cozy Beluga. Also, Cozy Beluga has a comic book coming out January 26th. Make sure you are saving up your money. It's $100
you pick random dates.
It's $100 a pop. Make sure you get your paper up. All right?
Minimum.
When you get your bonuses in December, don't be spending everything. $100 for Cozy. All right? Matt Likes Games, plug your stuff. Go ahead.
Follow me on Twitter at Matt Likes Games, and then YouTube it's Matt Likes Games videos Mondays and Fridays, and then on Wednesday I do a show with Ham Solo called the Two Player Podcast. Check that out as well. That's where you can find me.
Don't be so enthusiastic. Jeez.
Ugh.
I'm
Are you
always
gonna lick any
enthusiastic.
games?
You should lick a game one day, Matt. I think that would be great content.
I think you absolutely should, though. Go ahead and do it, bud.
It's
Undo
best
it.
bonus
Alright,
points if you do it for a Switch cart.
Sir,
What?
Sir X-Men says I'm gonna hurt
Damn.
some feet. Sir X-Men, are you trying to bait me into coming to GRG tonight? Jeez, Mr. Jonah Dark says, does the comic read itself? Complaining about the $100. We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline, Mr. Jonah Dark. As for TSWS, we do this every Friday, 2200 hours Central African time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. On Mondays, Ham does the crossover with K Mega, either on TSWS or we put the link up so you can go to K Mega's channel. Tuesdays is the lowdown, me and Ham. Wednesdays we have a little rest day, and then Ham jumps over to Matt's channel. Thursday is the big Behind Them Sticks episode. This past week, Ham had a conversation with an actual doctor that has done studies and disseminated studies around gaming and the effects that it has on the human mind and eyes. So look that up. And then Fridays, again, me, Ham, Cozy, Matt, and stupendously amazing guests, just like Cult Classic Cage. Thanks for coming through, everyone. We will see you next week. And like Ham says every single week on TSWS Gaming, go ahead, Ham.
Keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out, y'all.